Okay, we're playing Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. This is motherfucking Fantasy Grounds we're using. We use Syrinscape for our sound, and dulux-oz does some of our sound extensions, put nicely into Fantasy Grounds. So, well, last play, there was a side adventure. We won't go over that, but last where you guys were in the Summit Hall, the keep high above, looking over the Desert Valley, up on a very high plateau. There you met Urshan Stormbanner. She is the Lord Commander of this keep. And you met the other guy from Red Larch, her lieutenant from Red Larch. I can't remember his name, but you met him here. They brought you to dinner. They explained that they found dead bodies up the road. It looks like there was attack. The Mirren guards were there. They gave you the uniforms of the Mirabar guards. So there's like 7 uniforms of those, leather and studded leather, and then bugbears that they attacked, and one robe and mask of the monks. And the mask is a tinfoil mask of a gargoyle bearing its teeth. It's not really worth anything, but they give that stuff to you. They also give you guys silver weapons, which are, by the way, add 100 to each silver weapon. That's how much it costs. I looked it up, so... but you can take whatever weapons. They pretty much have anything here. Though you'll have to trade out your weapons, so you might want to keep, like, anything... You know, if you have a sentimental weapon, you can get it silvered later. You guys also talked to the scholars here, and the scholars basically told you about the history of the land, which you can read all about it if you haven't already. You probably should, but you guys played, so most of you kind of probably remember. So, and then they took you down to the catacombs below, which is number 20 on the map. In the bottom there is the 3 brothers, Samuel Keldrin, Rendrick Keldrin, and Amphil the Just, were the 3 brothers who started the Samalar Knights back in 942 DR. So this was 500 years ago. And you remember seeing a picture of Rendrick dying and his brother like giving him a potion, but it didn't work. Basically, to sum it up. But you can read through the notes there. Also, Griffin did find an information on a book that had similar runes to the runes in the bottom of Red Larch dungeon of the Obelix base. And the book was titled Elements and Chaos, and you open it up, and all pages were missing out of it. So, and he found stuff on the Anhag, which is like a creature you guys fought in Red Larch, or some of you fought in Red Larch. And so that's where we left it off. It is the evening. Yushnora bids you good night. And in the morning, if you have questions, you can talk or whatever you want. So.
All right. Should we try to read up as much as we can on what they have on the Stone Monastery?
It's a good idea.
They don't have anything on the Stone Monastery other than the Silverhorn Knights. They told you the history. Were the ones who first fell in the Stone Monastery. They don't really know anything about it, though.
Do they have schematics? Do they have a map of the outside or anything?
No.
Do they know? Because we've been hearing
They know where it's at, but
we've been hearing a lot of talk about these 4 haunted keeps in the valley, and we found 2 that people said were haunted. Do they know for sure what the other 2 are?
You found 3 of them. Feathergale Spire, Riverguard Keep, and Sacred Stone Monastery. And you already kind of know that the
other one's underground somewhere.
no, the other one is the druid camp.
Yes, where they're doing the ritual.
Yeah.
Nesting.
Oh, yeah, the moon one.
Yeah, the sacred moon hall or whatever.
Okay.
So Feathergale is air. Riverguard is water.
Mm-hmm.
This one is earth. And then what the hell's the druid one? Fire?
Must be.
So we still have to get underneath Riverguard too.
I can get there.
Yeah.
Can.
You should just go explore it on your own.
Yeah, I tried.
Let's see what happens.
Well, remember?
It's Scarlet Moon Hall is the name of the other one.
Yep.
And according to the history of the Samalar scholars, they told you that the Silverhorn Knights back in 1942, or I think maybe before that,
It was like 1942.
They say that they discovered these keeps and cleared them out of the creatures, which there's like trolls and other stuff from all the troll wars happening in the area. So
so the dwarves started them 5,500 years ago.
Yeah, 5,000 years ago. They just know that there was a ancient, very ancient dwarven colony that colonized above ground, and then has gone missing like 200 years later. But they knew they're still in the area. And there is one more thing, Vhajjharma. Someone probably should take control of Vhajjharma.
Not it.
Does anyone want to do it?
Ground rolls.
I can do it since I know a thing or two about spellcasting.
Thing
That's
or
right.
two. She's got a lot of new ones, so I will. I should just dupe her, but it's hard to. Yeah, that's stupid. So I'm just gonna unown her, and then clear owner. Now you can just go on the PCs and own her. I know she'll like that. She'll be all about that.
Yes.
But it'll make it easier to have her here. Griffin, I don't know. Griffin stays here, it's fine. He can catch up to you. So now there's one ability you should be aware of that she can do. She can, a couple abilities really. So she can cast invisibility on as much as 4 people. She uses a sorcery point or 2 sorcery points to twin spell her invisibility and cast it at 3rd level. So if she uses a 3rd level slot and then uses twin spell, she can make 4 people invisible. Of course, that uses a lot of her resources. So she has fireball and fly, but she only has counterspell memorized.
We also picked up
I don't know if that's right.
monks' robes and gargoyle masks that are seen going in and out of the monastery itself.
So the ones that she's got stars by are the ones that she's got prepped.
Yes, or some are automatic. So the ones with the S by it, that means that's her sorcerer spells. So she always has those at all times. The ones that that have a W means they're a wizard, and then there's the magic missile wand. So let me see how many spells she has prepped. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, nope. 1, 2. She probably needs more. I'm thinking. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. So she has 3. She's a wizard of 1st level. So she needs 4 spell slots. So it looks like she's missing one. So you might as well you can either give her fireball or fly. That's what I would do. But
I know what I would do.
oh yeah, the ones woofy. But and the ones with R are our ritual. So we just made it easy, so it's easy to see it on the outside. So you can cast that anytime. It takes 10 minutes or longer for some.
Yeah, so
you don't need those. So really, she just needs
put armor and all that other stuff on first.
I mean, she can also give 4 people fly. Also, well, no, she can only give 2 people fly. She'd have to have a 4th level spell slot to give 4 people fly. But anyways, yeah, I'd probably just pick Fireball. That would be my choice. It's good for a mass amount of people. She's got 4 sorcery points. She also has Tides of Chaos. Like every time she does an attack, she can use Tides of Chaos. First day it's free, so mark that. First day it's free. She gets an advantage on her first attack roll. That's free. Then after that, you can do it again, but you got to roll on the wild magic table. Good and bad things can happen. Most likely, it's neutral to good things. So it's like 30% of each category, like good, neutral, bad. So less of a chance of something bad happening. And at your guys' level, like a fireball isn't going to kill you. So it's definitely worth, believe me, it's definitely worth using, and it makes it a lot of fun.
Daphne, you're so silly.
Hello.
The cat's hiding under the desk.
Hi.
Good. My fish are in their tank.
But anyways, that's enough to go over it. Also, you have counterspell, so if someone's casting a spell, you can do counterspell. So,
which is awesome.
Yeah, it is really good. So the question is, what time do you guys want to take off? And if there's any other things you need to do,
I think we should leave before the sun comes up.
I agree.
What time?
4
a.m.
There you go.
Okay, it is getting near summer. Sun rises at about 5:40 right now. Probably 5:30, 5:40.
Sure.
It will take you some time to get there.
How long?
Let me see. Let's switch the maps.
Are we just taking 2 of our mounts? Or are we taking 3?
No, I think you should take 3.
There's 4 of us, so yeah, probably 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We can just say Griffin waits with the mounts, just so that when he plays, he's there. Wherever you guys leave it, we'll just say he just tends to the mounts, so it's easier to get him in. But we won't have him play. I don't want you to overload you guys with too many extra characters, but it's good to have one spellcaster with you. Make it much easier. So.
Yeah.
Okay, map time. Fucking map, yo. So Summit Hall, and you're going to Sacred Stone Monastery. It's where I put that circle up. Make it big. Maybe if I can. Can I make it big? No. Well, it's right there. Probably see it moving around.
That's square?
Oh, there it is. I got it.
Oh yeah.
Circle.
Almost directly across from where Summit Square is.
Yes. So this will only take you about maybe 3 hours. You can get a full rest before you go, or... Yeah, you guys can get a full rest before you go, because you don't need watch here.
Perfect.
Well, depending what time you want to leave, though. But I think a full rest would be ready by 2, because we'll say it's evening, it's probably about 8. So, yeah. Probably by 2.
I'd leave by 3:30 if we can.
Yep.
Leave by?
Yep.
Okay, this is... so... You'll be there right at sunrise?
Yep.
Sure.
Okay. So this will still be dim light, but maybe only dim light for a half hour. Let me change some music.
You have a chin, Shawn. Can you reset my hit dice, please?
Long rest. Long rest. Does anyone else need more hit dice? You all full?
You just get some. I'll take some if you want to just give me some extra.
No, because you guys had 10 days of rest, all your hit dice all come back, not like half of it, because you've had a lot of rest. But yeah, you can take 20 if you die.
Nice!
You gotta come back as totally evil and kill everyone.
Okay.
Starting with Vhajjharma. I'm just joking.
I can't do that. You might kill me for real.
Death. Oh wait, am I?
My hands are tied, brah.
Yeah, I know.
All right. So you're arriving just before the sun rises. You still hear the crickets out, and there is a lot of wind on your face. As you start getting closer, you notice that you pass the desert and river. It is not a super windy night, but up here in the air, it's always some kind of wind. And you notice the desert and river is pretty calm. There is not a cloud in the sky, and you can see the stars out. In fact, it's a pretty warm night. You pass the desert and river. As you get closer to your destination, the rocks go up as you guys increase in height. The air definitely gets noticeably drier. And up ahead you see vultures or some kind of birds flying around in formation, and it's probably around right where the Sacred Stone Monastery is.
How big are the birds? Are they the same size as a
No, they're
vulture?
Well, you can roll a perception check to
I would love to.
check
Indeed.
that. Kevril, you're not sure.
I've got no idea.
Oh, actually, you
Amber.
do. You guys got such high passive. I forget sometimes. Sorry. So they're small birds.
Small birds, okay.
Yeah.
Do we want to land within the hex and get closer by foot, or
I think that's best if we can stealth our way up, because we don't know anything about these monks other than they were able, with all their bugbears, to completely take out the delegation.
yeah?
Right. Yeah, if they're just because they're small doesn't mean that they're not perceptive as to what's going on. So,
Have you ever heard of anything about these through your monkly contacts?
going to say no, but I could roll, I suppose,
You
to
could
see
roll a
if
history
Have you ever heard of what?
have I ever heard of these monks
of these
before?
monks.
Can I roll or no?
Yeah,
Or
sure.
do I? Okay.
You've never heard of these monks. This is a definitely a name that's new to you, but you had heard of a monk monastery being built to the north. This might be in that area, and that's about it.
Oh, so I may know of this being established, but I don't know anything about it, basically. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Land on the outskirts and sneak our way in.
No.
Okay, how far away? Oh wait, so you're not gonna do a flyby, and you're not gonna know exactly where it is, but you kind of get the direction. You can't. Malichor can't get lost, so no worries there. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
So we won't worry about that then.
We want to have.
How far away to the location that they gave you on your map do you want to be? Like how far of a walk?
Like maybe a mile?
Yeah.
Do we want any of us to be dressed in their?
Within 3 miles, you do see something up ahead. It lies in the foot of a valley up high, at a cresting peak.
What do you mean?
It's some kind of structure, but I mean, this is like probably 4 miles away in the sky.
Okay.
You can't really make out the shape, but you can tell it's some kind of structure ahead.
So it's up on a crest.
It is up at the highest part of the peak, and it kind of dips in. You guys are obviously up high, so you can actually see that from where you're at.
All right.
What does the approach look like to whatever that structure is? Does it look like it's a sheer cliff? Does it look like there's a path that we can see from here? Or?
It is hilly. It's not like a sheer cliff. It looks like a walkable, large, like it goes up to not quite a plateau, but it's more like a mountain, a walkable mountain. It's not like sheer mountain sides. So you can definitely get there by foot.
But it looks like it was put there for a defensive perspective. That's
yeah, definitely. It has being up high is always defensive, and out here you're probably not going to want things in the valley unless you're going to block it. It's just generally you don't do that. So so it doesn't look odd that it's there.
Right. Do we want any of us to don the monk's garb that we received from the knights?
We could try a little deception and have one of us play the monk and the others play prisoners.
Vhajjharma can disguise herself as a monk too.
Yeah, I have the ability to disguise as well, but I feel like you, Kevril, have the best idea of how a monk would.
Mm-hmm.
So, if nothing else, you should coach us on how to behave.
Yeah, I could do that.
Okay.
Should I do a performance check or something goofy like that to show you guys kind of what you look like?
No, you don't got to. You know, it's ingrained in you. So, what do you want to?
Just kind of the way that they would move, I guess, through the forest and in general, and then just kind of demeanor in general, assuming that these are traditional monks. Deference.
You can only draw from your training. From your training, right. They're very hold your ground. They're really, your training, like monks were very into training, and that's all it was. Your teacher in particular was a very, very tough but good teacher. So, items were given up. You weren't really allowed to have possessions other than the equipment used. Even from going to different places, you weren't really supposed to.
Right.
Though you do know some of the monks would sneak out and drink back. That was back by Baldur's Gate. I believe that's where your temple was, right?
Outskirts, yep.
Yeah. So they live a very, very strict and regiment life, much like military, but maybe more sacrificing. They don't rely on equipment so much.
Right. Should we use, since we're going to be walking through, how long does invisibility last?
1
hour, I think.
So it's not timed yet.
Yeah, I'd say we should try and just sneak our way up there until at what point we would be visible and can't hide anymore, and then it's better to disguise ourselves.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, can you guys roll stealth checks, please? Thank you for doing those in the tower. Tower of Power. Who roll? Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. So
Malichor rolled a 1.
No, the perceptive people notice that Vhajjharma is not being so quiet or hidden. But that's you guys notice it, and it's sort of too late. Like if someone's gonna notice you, they've noticed you. But because you guys are super perceptive, you do notice that. But as you approach, you come upon a crest, and this is what you see. It is wait a minute. Let me text something. So as you come along, oh, actually, there is some mountainous areas behind it that goes up high, but it's like inside, and you can walk through a couple of valleys in those areas. So it's pretty well hidden, but you guys are up pretty high, so you can see it.
Another jaunty-looking place.
Mm-hmm.
You guys notice that I take a half step, and as I'm walking, I seem to stutter in my step for a second. Kind of seem to take in the surroundings a little longer than maybe would be normal.
Does this look familiar to you?
It's almost identical to the monastery that I trained in.
So bringing back some harsh memories.
Well, this one's not on fire, so I guess that's a difference.
That is a difference.
You've never really told us anything about that.
Another time.
Would it impact you a whole lot if we left this one on fire?
Probably not.
Okay, that's what we needed to know. Not that we have to destroy it, but
what that means too, if this is laid out similarly, then you might have an idea of where important people or things might be important.
do you think this is the landscape or the schematics are very similar?
If it is, I can lead us to where the important people should be.
Was there any place in your monastery where prisoners would have been kept?
Do I know that? I probably do.
Yeah, they would have been, I mean, you guys didn't really hold prisoners. There was only there's only like a timeout room, and that would be the dojang for meditation. There's 2 dojangs, one on the east and west side.
Okay.
On the far east and west sides of it.
I think that they do happen to have any prisoners from the delegation still here, where they might be holding them. Be a good thing now.
I guess the other question is, Kevril, is based on any of your memories, knowing your capabilities, what kinds of things should we be looking for from this group?
Expect everyone inside to be well trained, know exactly what their role will be. So I don't know that deception is going to be a very wise option anyways. We may be able to deceive them into believing that we belong here, but I don't know that we'll be able to deceive them further than that.
Well, if things go sideways, how should we approach defending ourselves or getting out or getting in?
I don't know that I'd say it's much different than any other keep we've stormed in the last few weeks. It's just going to be expect the fights to be a little more intense than what we've probably dealt with, at least from a hand-to-hand perspective.
Okay. How
and you guys can judge like from him, like his abilities, so you guys do know, monk abilities.
That's what I was asking.
were most of the monks that you train with pretty stealthy? So do we need to be on our guard that they could be lurking in any corner?
Different monks specialize in different areas, but ones that I trained with definitely had a focus on keeping to the shadows. so we may need to be wary of attacks from the sides as well as the front.
I'll take care of the front. You guys take care of the sides.
Vhajjharma says, "I will keep track of the very back. But nobody can see me."
Yes, please play your character. That's awesome. All right.
Does it look like there is? Should we go ahead with the plan and approach as monks, or do you think we should sneak around a bit and try not to be seen?
It is 5:15 right now when you arrive at the plateau. The sun's just starting to peek out. It's still pretty. It's dim light for anyone that can't see. Which means
I think that we should
you get minus
check out the perimeter a little bit before we, or at least maybe sit somewhere and then see if there's any. They do patrols, or if they have like a morning prayer session or something.
I mean, I'm a patient person. I could sit here for a full day and just check out the comings and goings and the schedule, but I don't know who else has the patience for that.
I don't know that I'd be able to wait that long, to be honest. But
is it the waiting or being this close to the monastery?
It's a little of both, but I do see the wisdom in at least being able to see what their routine looks like. So if that's what we decide, I'm all for it.
Maybe we watch for like the first hour or two, and then we could, if the three of us are disguised as monks, Malichor could be our prisoner, which may, if we arrive there, give them reason to have us help take him to where they hold prisoners. Because if they were taking the delegation back as prisoners, like what the reports seem to say, then they could have somebody here.
Mm-hmm. It's entirely possible.
All right. So why don't we just sit down and watch the place for 2 hours, maybe?
Okay.
Sure.
So in about 20 minutes, the light starts peeking over the crest, and you can see it brightly lit on the outside of the monastery. And in about maybe 5 minutes after that, you guys hear echo throughout the monastery.
Inception.
It gongs 3 times.
Does Kevril have a reaction to that? Insight check.
I don't know, Kevril. What do you? No, probably not. I mean, it's not unusual.
No, yeah. I probably would just be staring off, kind of in the distance, probably lost in thought. Probably.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to say it brings back a memory. I don't know if you're gonna tell them, so that's why I wouldn't say.
Yeah, no, I probably wouldn't. I probably would just be staring off.
I'll have you. I'll tell you kind of what it's about, but you can make up what the story is to that memory. Okay?
Sure.
And I got caps lock, but whatever.
Stop shouting at me! Oh. Yeah, I've got that fits in kind of with my background. Actually. I'll just kind of stare off in the distance, and you guys can kind of see that I'm present, but not really present, kind of with my gaze.
Do we need to see any other activity?
And, how long do you guys wait?
Maybe 2 hours.
Okay. So after about an hour, you hear another gong. And then 15 minutes later, you can hear some voices, some excited voices, echoing in the valley. They're pretty faint because you're probably like 600 feet away or something, right? But you're up in the valley, so you can see down a little bit, but not totally down. You can't see the roof, but you have about this view, I would say. So you can hear some voices echoing. So they hear another gong after an hour, and then 15 minutes after that, they hear some voices echoing in the valley. It is now 2 hours and 20 minutes after. You keep waiting.
I think so.
Okay.
Is there any signs of training in the courtyard, or is it just voices?
You can't see the courtyard. You don't see anyone.
You don't hear sounds of training echoing on anything.
Well, all you hear is excited voices right now. This is at 1:20. An hour and 20 minutes have gone by.
Do they sound like their voices? I mean, it might be difficult in the valley, but do they sound like they're moving, or does it sound like it's a static point that they're in?
Can you roll a perception check?
I can.
Oh, great. So at first you believe you heard like one voice, and then there's more, and then there's more, and there's more, and they sound excited and talking amongst themselves. That's what you're pretty sure it's going on. And I'm assuming you wait.
Yep.
And about 5 minutes after that, you hear somebody you hear a shout, and then everything gets quiet. And then you hear there's a voice talking. It's hard to tell what that is. So
coming from the group or coming from the stronghold?
Would you like to roll perception?
Sure.
It's definitely from. It echoes in the valley, so it's a bit hard to make it out.
Sure.
Even at your guys' high perception. You guys hear it with the high perception. For Malichor, it sort of sounds like not much.
Like Charlie Brown.
Actually, now we're in daytime.
I'll make a perception check just to see.
Alright. Let's see. Kevril, you take it as one person talking, probably coming from within the monastery. Outside, sounds like. Not from inside the monastery, but outdoors talking.
In the courtyard or somewhere, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, possibly.
And how far away are we from the monastery?
From the tone, it sounds like they're giving orders or something like that.
Okay. And how far away are we from the monastery,
600
approximately?
feet, we'll say.
Okay, so I can talk, and they're not...
600?
Yeah, no. But
I'll just whisper.
The voices are echoed. It probably looks like pretty much like the picture that you have here, so...
Is it worth it for me to try and sneak up there and
maybe
take a listen through my raven? Or is that putting us in too much early?
I think that's probably a good idea.
Oh, I think Vhajjharma has Find Familiar now too, so you guys could both send up.
But you got to be within 100 feet, so I'd have to move closer.
Then the other side of that is she can make you invisible.
That's true. That's good. Why don't we do that? Well, Vhajjharma will cast invisibility on.
She twin cat you do too, right?
She could, but she got to spend a sorcery point, and who right now would benefit from that?
I was gonna say, why don't you
a couple things about invisibility. When you cast a spell, you go out of invisibility. So, and when you do an attack action, also.
Yeah, so maybe just me, so that I can get up close and listen.
I think that's a good idea. Plus, you can fly, and the rest, and you're as mobile as anybody. So,
yeah.
Yep.
She does point out the fact that you might be wasting a spell since you sneak so good, anyways.
Is it taking a look at going up there? Do I see? Does it look like there's enough cover for me to stealth up there without too much of a problem?
I mean there are a few bushes. There's a little bit of foliage on the side. Fairly close, and there are rocks. So you could probably sneak up there. The windows aren't that big, so.
Can we make a check to say, based on Kevril's information that he gave us earlier, can we make an informed choice or a roll to see where we'd hide if we were going to have sentries outside the keep?
That's called an insight check.
Does somebody want to do that?
Think that's the best. You're probably you or Kevril is the best at it.
Probably you, Malichor.
Kevril actually is.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I think you are the best.
Yeah,
well, you guys talk to Criella will go ahead and sneak up and get within 100 feet of the guard.
Okay, are you going to sneak or are you going to use invisibility? What's that?
I'm going to sneak.
Okay. So you just rolled it again? Okay. Alright, so what do you want to know about tactical stuff exactly?
Well, the idea was using Kevril.
Wait, what does Kevril want to know?
I think for me it would be, we'd try and figure out where the most likely place would be that there would be sentries or people that were on guard watching, so that we could kind of direct Criella better as to where she should sneak to and not be.
Alright. Probably in the front, but you don't see anyone in front. You would think in the towers, in the tower in the back there, maybe? There's people looking out of that.
Yeah, okay. That's cool. I'll relay that.
I will sneak down and I will send my bird to perch on one of the rooftops so I can listen through it.
Okay. Let me set up the map, because you guys are coming from the front. Or are you going to go around to the side? The side will take longer. The pathway goes to the front, and you can see there's probably a pathway in the back, but that's probably only 2 walking pathways.
I'll just go to the front, because I don't want them to finish talking before I get there.
Okay. Let me prepare this map. Okay, map coming your way. Okay, you can just place your guy on the map and show me where you want to go.
Well, let's see if that'll work this time.
I think you got to do it from the combat tracker. No, you got to do. So when you open up your character sheet, you do it from the picture on the right-hand side. You drag him on the image on the right side where it says token, not over your portrait, but the top-down image.
Still does not work.
It didn't work for me either. I just tried it.
Oh, I guess drag it from the combat tracker.
I can't drag anything from the combat tracker. It just moves the whole
That's
window.
awesome.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
You're on there though. You put it on there.
I just did it, but
Okay.
we don't need 2 Malichors. Let me delete that, and I will just restart it just so that everything's connected. Because sometimes they get unconnected for some reason. And then it doesn't keep track of the points and all that shit. So we'll put Criella in there. I wish they gave like a little bit bigger maps, but whatever. Ones that are like extended out.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be nice.
It might be where I found my Raven before.
If you go under NPCs, you type in Raven, and then they pop up.
Is it?
I have one in the combat tracker as your Raven, just in case, so we can keep track of its abilities.
I don't know why I can drag the R from Raven, but I can't drag mine from my character sheet.
Yeah, isn't that weird? Why can't you? You tried both. Did you try the portrait on the right-hand side where it says token of your character sheet on your main page?
I tried both of them, yeah.
And you couldn't drag that over?
No.
Oh, I think that's a bug.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a bug. So, whatever. We need to fix that. Okay, so you can see that it's up on like a bit of a plateau. I'm gonna guess you're below that plateau.
Yes.
On the bottom, okay. So that's like I don't know, it's probably like a good 10-foot rise to that plateau.
Okay. Easy for me to jump up that.
Yes. Well, it's not that steep, so you can go up it. It'd be rough terrain though, so it'd cost you double movement, but
I can fly over that shit.
Yeah. There's that. So your Raven's right there in the corner?
Yeah, that general area, just like perching quietly on a rooftop, trying to not make too much noise or call attention to itself.
Now you hear, now that you're closer, you can hear it a little bit clearer, but echoes, you can hear synchronous shouting. It's like they're all shouting as a group.
Okay, what do I see?
You see nothing here other than the keep and the rocks down at your feet. There is a shiny beetle that is crawling across the rock.
Does my Raven see anything?
The Raven looks at the shiny beetle and is hungry. Do ravens eat beetles? I don't know. Probably.
Sure, why not?
Sure they would. Can the Raven
Eat the
look
beetle.
into the courtyard?
The Raven goes high. How high?
Just onto the rooftop to look over into rooftop. I just don't want to put it where I don't have any map showing, because then it will disappear from me.
Oh, I got it. Okay. Well, you can tell me how far in you go in, but I'm gonna reveal the edges. I should have just kept it on because I forgot you're just gonna use your Raven anyways. Because I did this stuff already, had it ready, and then. So there is a courtyard, and you do see people in that courtyard. It is full of monks training.
Are they wearing the same black robes?
They're wearing the brown robes. And you can see a bunch of masks laid down at the floor.
How many monks?
Do you have message?
I do not.
Vhajjharma does.
Vhajjharma does, but...
You're gonna go back and tell him anyway, so... Yeah, Vhajjharma just messaged you constantly to figure it out. I'm sure she would do that. So.
She's got to get closer, too. She's got to be within 120 feet of me,
Oh, yeah, you're right. You are exactly right.
She might not do that.
Well, I mean, she would just make herself invisible and go up 120 feet.
Yeah, that's true.
Sure. So mark off a spell for her, and she'll be close. She doesn't really... I mean, you still can stealth invisibility because you do make noise and stuff like that. Everyone has disadvantage to spot you, so that means -5 on passive perception checks. So if she wants to go up there stealthily, she can. But, I mean, out here, if people hear a rock move, what are they going to notice, you know?
I feel like Vhajjharma is very cautious about these things.
Okay, have her roll stealth, and then we'll use that. Oh, she gets advantage on it, so she can roll again. Excellent. Okay. We'll drag her on there.
Yes, the knight said that there was 20 plus monks or something from their intelligence.
At least.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she'll be the relay station, and I can relay to them everything that I'm seeing in there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, only you two can relay because they're 600 feet away unless they're going to move closer.
Well, if I'm 100 feet away and she's 120 feet away from me...
That's still only 300 feet. Yeah.
They would need 400 feet or so.
Yeah. You guys can write notes and pass messages to your birds. Oh, what is she using a bird, or... Bats can see invisibility, so they're very good to have.
I'm pretty sure she uses a bat.
Yeah. The other option is an owl, which an owl gets an automatic disengage. So an owl can go affect something, so they get advantage. But she naturally gets advantage with their tie to chaos. A bat is awesome. So.
Yeah, I feel like she'd use a bat, so she could always just write notes and send the bat back.
If you want, find the bat so that you know the stats. I am... Hey, how come regular bat? That's great.
Got it.
Oh, that's because I'm in the wrong. I need all. BAT. I am going to put it in the thing so we can reference it quickly.
In the map or the combat tracker?
No, in the combat tracker. And you can put it in the map where you want to put it. So.
I think it's off the map at this point.
Oh, okay. It's back.
Yeah.
Okay. Keep an eye on them just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah. The bat would be in between them and us.
Okay. We'll make the bat friendly.
You might have 4 character sheets open at one time on the screen.
Yeah, that's a pain. That's a little bit more of a pain.
I had 2 monitors, so.
You can, if you right-click over your character sheet, you can minimize it, but you can also just double-click over your portraits, so it works too. So yeah, that's what you see.
What do I see?
Wait, where were you looking? You see the people in the courtyard. You see the stone temple monastery. So basically, there's wind sculptured sandstone in here. Eventually, the walls draw in so closely that you reach to touch the other side. The narrow space opens into a hidden canyon in the heart of the valley. A sprawling monastery with dark, narrow windows and red tile rooftops stand in the middle of this narrow amphitheater, ringed by sandstone cliffs all around. Ahead, a weathered flight of stone steps lead up to the closed monastery doors. The plain doors are made of heavy timber with iron studs, and a dusty footpath circles the building.
I will spend some time watching the monks and observing their behavior and how they act to each other. Are there any special, ways that they greet each other or anything that they say if they're talking, so that if we do have to impersonate them, I might be able to pull out some idiosyncrasies like that to sort of make it seem more believable.
All right. You can roll a perception check. to figure that out. And how long do you want to wait to do this? The longer you go, the less of a difficulty it is. So
I could wait 20 to 30 minutes, I think.
Okay. I remember Vhajjharma has an hour of invisibility. Yeah, you can just say it out loud. It's fine.
Oh, I can?
Yeah.
So, can Vhajjharma message Kevril to ask how many monks were in his monastery?
Oh, wait, no. She'll go invisible. So, no, she can't.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
She can...
But I'm next to Kevril, so I'll whisper to him.
Yeah.
Were you trained in a complex this size? Can you estimate how many people it should be, or were in yours versus? Was it a healthy monastery?
20 to 40.
I was gonna say there were a lot that.
And it can be more too. They can hold a lot more. I mean, you think you've had more people than that, but the lower ranks aren't allowed to necessarily mingle with the higher ranks. So,
right.
And there are secrets. There's some areas that you weren't allowed in too.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that they fought with bugbears, so could be unknowns too.
Do I see any evidence of anybody non-human in there?
So, anyone non-human? As your bird gets a closer look, I'll just use your perception check for both your questions. You don't see any non-humans. You see in the courtyard there is statues. A walled garden shelters beneath the northern wall of the monastery. The garden is poorly kept, although some effort has been made to clear the footpaths through the overgrowth. A garden gate to the northeast leads outside. 3 doors open in the monastery at the southeast, south, and western side of the garden. The statues in the garden are particularly lifelike. So there's various like human type statues. There's an elfin statue there, but the artwork is pretty immaculate. There's even a monk there too.
Now, from trying to be aware of my surroundings for keeping the map in my mind, are there any caves or any strange geological formations near that I might think would be housing non-humans? Are there any?
Can you roll a survival check for that?
Are there any trails that may house other races?
You roll a survival. You have to walk around too because you're sneaking. Do you want to do that to walk around?
Well, I'm just.
You're kind of like hidden in a spot, so you're trying to assess in a spot, so you're gonna have a very high difficulty to figure that out from where you're at. You have to survey the area.
Yeah, when we're ready to move up, I'll roll again.
Well, we'll hold that roll from yeah. You don't know from that, and with your perception roll, Criella, you do see them bow, and when they bow. They do this when they bow.
Okay.
They face each other, they put their hands together, and they bow like that. That's about all you get. And they actually, in about, in the time you're waiting, you do see them start to do some sparring. They're pretty skilled.
Okay. So I will. I'll head back up so I can talk to everybody face to face.
Okay, we'll say it takes you about to do it sneakily. It takes you about 10 minutes. Wait, 600 feet. Let me think. How much would that be? That'd be half your speed, not you. So 45. 45 goes into... Oh, so it takes you about maybe 2-3 minutes to do it sneakily. So,
Okay.
Because I'm keeping track of time because of Vhajjharma. So we'll say a half hour goes by, right? So she's got a half hour of invisibility left. Does she stay?
No, we're gonna just like have a group powwow and decide what we're gonna do next.
Okay. You can do that through message from 120 feet away. That's what she suggests. You can if you want, or you can... Oh, no, you can't because she's invisible. Never mind. Never mind.
So let's all just head back up there.
All right. You guys are back up there?
So, if we're going to go in and attempt to infiltrate as monks, I'd say now is the time to do it. And I tell them some of the actions that I saw them do to each other, just so that they know how to do those. We want to say that, you know, we've been out in the valley for some time, and
Do you not think that they have a decent tracking mechanism on who's coming and who's going, though, from their sect?
I don't know. It seems like they've got 20 to 40 people in there. So maybe not. If we say that we've been out for a while, I don't know if they've had turnover or not. Kevril, what do you think?
I'm texting you some, Kevril, just a sec.
Okay.
I'm mulling it over and thinking what possibly.
Yeah. Okay, that's it. Oh, did you get it? I spelled that totally wrong. But you can.
I got it. That's cool.
Right.
I got it. Interesting. This the familiarity here may be more than just in the building, based on some of that, some of what you've seen. So we may find out more as we get in. If it's anything like my monastery, there were so many people coming and going that I can't imagine that it would be all that uncommon for a party to be back and arriving. So we may be, the deception may work, but I also would prepare for it not to.
I think we should always prepare for us to
have our whistles ready.
Yes. Yeah. All right.
Now, here's a question. From our viewpoint, where would the best spots on the monastery roofs be for airbound escape?
Courtyard?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Oh, because that's the only open spot?
Yeah.
Alright.
Maybe you can get through a window in the tower?
Well, I meant if we're blowing whistles and we could get somewhere, but... Okay. Northeast side.
How many monks did I see in the courtyard just doing their training?
There was at least 20. Yeah, 20.
Right,
no,
so
actually, no, there's 15. And then a trainer.
50 or 15?
15.
Okay.
5,000.
1 billion.
In which case, it's pretty easy to slip in, because they don't know anybody.
Right.
Okay, then I'd say we go down and attempt our best deception.
Okay, Vhajjharma has probably, after talking it over, probably about 25 minutes left of...
Well, I think she's going to let it go and go with the sky's self.
Instead? Okay.
Yeah. because the thinking is, if these monks are really as good as we think they are, they're probably going to be able to detect somebody being invisible through other senses. So it's a better bet to make them think that we should be there rather than alert them to something's not right.
Okay.
So should I put on a mirror bar? The mirror bar cape.
That'd be a good idea. And then we bind your hands. Do we know a good way? Does anybody have any skill at tying knots that we could tie your hands in a way that you can easily get out of it, but it looks tight?
What would we use for that?
That would be like a carpentry skill or something like that. Which I don't think any of you guys have that tool skill. It'd be like some kind of tool.
Yeah, I mean, I got plenty of rope. I just don't necessarily have.
Are you guys skilled with any tools? You guys should be from your backgrounds.
I got thieves' tools and disguise kits.
Yeah, Malichor.
I have a game.
Well, I mean, survival, I know how to set snares and things, so like slip knots and stuff like that.
I mean, that's what you roll probably for it, but if you have certain tools, so you got one musical instrument, that's your tool.
That's my tool.
Yeah.
I could play the bagpipes.
Nice.
If you look in the Xander's guide, I think they give you uses of tools, which can be more than
I can have a look at that.
what you expect. It's cool. Vhajjharma, I don't know.
Hard copy? Look at you go.
It was a Christmas present.
That's awesome.
The one hard copy book I have.
We'll have to go with
Vhajjharma cannot help you.
Tools.
And Criella, I think
it'd probably be like a. You don't have sailor's tools.
Yeah, probably.
Yes, that would work. Any tools that you're proficient in would help you, but otherwise you just roll your. You can roll a survival check.
There's actually a section here called tying knots. So let's see what it says.
Oh wow, that's useful. I didn't know there was that section. I actually have the book in here digitally too.
That's what I'm looking for.
I just don't want to look through all the fucking shit. Find it. I was gonna have you just roll.
Creature who plays the knot makes an intelligence sleight of hand check.
Oh.
Total
sleight of hand.
The DC for an attempt to untie the knot with an intelligence sleight of hand check.
Okay.
Or to slip out of it with a dexterity acrobatics check.
Okay.
Wait, so sleight of hand's a dex check though. I'm saying an int check.
Intelligence plus sleight of hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you add your intelligence to sleight of hand. That's what they're doing. So if you're good with sleight of hand plus your I don't know. That doesn't make sense.
I think that makes sense because you're tying like a slip knot.
You need both. I think you need both. Sleight of hand is the actual dexterity, and then
yeah.
I don't know what the one they use. What do they use for DC?
The DC to untie the knot is the total of the whatever you roll to tie it becomes the DC to untie it.
Okay.
Right, but
that's great.
We're trying to tie in.
I know what you're trying to do. So please roll. Who's ever going to tie it, you roll an intelligence check, please, for me, and then I'm basically. It's going to be. At a certain DC you got to get to be able to make a proper slip knot.
Yeah, let Kevril do it. I think he's probably best at that.
I believe Vhajjharma's pretty smart.
Yeah, I was going to say she should probably do it because I was thinking if we wanted a low DC, it should be me.
She has an intelligence of 14, so.
Yeah. Anybody do that?
Nope, I'm a 10.
Does she have history? No history. Okay.
She's actually proficient in sleight of hand, so maybe she should.
There you go.
Yeah, there it is.
So that would give her a +4 on her intelligence roll.
You can just roll intelligence roll under the character sheet. If you go under main and then if you roll the dice where it says INT, yeah. Okay. She does, and then roll the sleight of hand check.
Same
Nice
thing.
work. Double 8s.
Yep.
Okay.
Not the best craftsmanship.
Let's do that again in the tower. This should be in the tower, because unless you're going to test it, but then you got to redo it again. So,
Right.
And then, can we reroll intelligence in the tower?
I can just say somebody said that's horrible. Do it again.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, we have to hope that I can just break loose if it's a bad knot.
I'm sure it's not going to be
This is strength
a
check.
problem. Somehow.
Either that or they just take me down where Gundren and everybody else is, and then we fuck
Right.
All right.
Okay.
I can tell you what would have happened with that roll is basically, and you don't know, this could be the same roll, or it could be even worse, or it could be way better. But what would have happened with that roll? She would have did it wrong, and but the DC to break out, so it would have been tight. You wouldn't be able to break out, but the DC would have been 8 to break out. She didn't tie it very good, anyways. So but
basically,
she did fuck it up.
I couldn't have missed a roll to break out.
Yeah, well, basically, I'm giving her just a DC to figure out how to make that kind of knot to look okay.
Yeah.
And that would be their perception check, but okay.
So the other thing that I'm going to do, Kevril, if you're cool with this, I didn't see any people in there who were not human. So even if we're going to go in there, if you're going to wear the mask, at some point they may want that mask off. I would recommend I use my disguise kit to make you look human, at least your face.
Suppose I can pretend.
Probably be, you'll avoid an uncomfortable confrontation about
So
that.
basically, you roll proficiency with your disguise kit. You can actually add it to skills if you hit the little stop sign button on the bottom right-hand side. You can add a skill. Oh, you already have it. Never mind.
There.
Never mind. But you're gonna add your you add something to it. This would probably be.
It seems like it could be different depending on what you're trying.
Yeah. Wisdom maybe to it. I guess that's an art skill, or do they count that as intelligence?
What do we? Let's have a look in here. Yeah. I'll throw some wisdom in here. There we go. Let's see how we do.
Okay.
And then Vhajjharma and Criella will use their disguise self spells to make themselves look, like they're wearing the same brown robes, the same masks.
Well, you have robes in the masks. You just have to.
We have
You
one.
two
have
sets.
one robe. You have 2 masks. One mask
Okay.
is a bit beat up. This mask that you took from them, it had dried blood on it, but I'm sure you cleaned it. So
I think
maybe
the good ones Kevril should take, since he is already passable, and then since Vhajjharma and I are much less human looking, using the spell to do clothes and everything is going to be a better plan.
Yeah. And you have the extra mask too, if you need it for something.
Okay. We can just carry that in case we need to be like, we had a fellow who fell in battle and we couldn't bring him back.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Well, I'm gonna put you guys onto the battle map because I'm the only one that can do it. Let's see, who do we not have? And unfortunately, you gotta use the little ones if you like using portraits too. I don't know. It seems so screwy.
Yeah, I don't understand why it won't let her put her own tokens on there.
Broken. I
It's really
think
annoying.
it's probably broken.
The shit's broken.
Maybe it might be fixed if I update it, but I didn't update, so I don't update so we don't have problems before we play. I try to update in between.
So can you put a Can you put a bee up there so we have the bat too?
I can.
You can drag that on.
One of the things I can actually do.
Yeah. But anyways, I'm gonna zoom you into the. You guys are going to the front. I'm thinking.
Yep.
I'm gonna zoom you into the front there.
What you doing, kid?
There's already a bat and raven already on there, so I can move those guys over if you want.
Yep, I put those on there.
Okay. I don't know where are they going to be with you or?
No, I think they'll stay up on the roof.
Okay.
Just watch us.
Yeah, your kitty's getting big.
God, isn't she huge?
She is.
9 pounds already. She's not even a year old.
Wow. It's like getting as big as Wendy was. She got up to like 18 pounds.
Huge cat. Okay, so you guys approach the steps. You're at the steps looking up at the door, getting sweaty palms. And there's not a breeze. And you see a trail of ants walking up the stairs.
Trail of ants.
Yeah, they're going into the door.
Interesting. Do we just go up and, I don't know, Kevril, did people knock on the door or did they just walk in?
At your monastery, I assume you're going to tell them.
Yeah,
but at their monastery, yes, people would knock on the door. This brings you back memories of people asking for entrance, and oftentimes they would have you stand outside for many days before they let you come in. And you had a lot of times you had to hold a position. You remember that because you got to forego it, but they punished you for that. They made you do other horrific stuff. Training kind of stuff.
Maybe if you just call up and say you have a prisoner, they might let you in.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So let's knock on the door.
Yeah.
Trail of ants.
Okay. Does anyone step in the trail of ants?
No.
No.
Shit. Congrats. No, I'm just joking. Okay.
I hate ants.
You come up to the door, and you pound. What do you pound? How do you pound? Who pounds? And
I can't pound.
No. I'm gonna leave that to the monk.
do whatever you want.
Yeah. I'll knock respectfully. How's that sound?
Okay. What? 3 times or 1?
3 times. 3 times.
Okay. You hear the pound. And you wait about 15 seconds. Let me get my shit. I got so much crap open. Close that. Nope. We'll close that. We don't need that. We don't need you. We need you. That's what we need.
Did you guys gag me or no?
You do see there is another side door, by the way. If you look on the map, there's a side door to the right side.
Yeah, a smaller entrance.
So, yeah. And where are we? Here we are. Then you see a small panel in the monastery's front door slides open. And you see peering out of that someone wearing a gold mask, much like the ones you have. The mask is fashioned with a scrawling gargoyle, but they don't have their hood up, so you just see the gargoyle face, and you can tell by their ears they're probably human. From beneath the mask, you hear a female voice. Yes. What do you want?
I'm going to make a performance roll, and I'm going to act like I'm inebriated. I'm going to start using an old chant I learned from Gundren from Mirabar, in like a battle chant.
Like, so you're gonna start saying in battle like you're a warrior? You wanna?
Yeah, like I'm tied up and I'm just gonna start like shaking and chanting.
Like you're trying to fighting it. Okay, you can roll. Maybe it's a deception.
Okay, same.
Because this is indeed a trick. Okay.
I'll as she begins to speak, I'll bow with the same hand symbol that we saw before. I'll bow towards her in reverence. Say, we've come with another member. Should we take them with the others?
What is your name?
You know as well as I do that names are not important with our line of work. We're back, and we've brought another prisoner to add to the collection. So if you'd like to inspect it yourself, feel free, but we've got more work to do. We need to get this one inside and be on our way.
They pause for a second, and the shutter closes. You hear a little bit of speaking from inside. Can you please roll a deception check?
Sure.
Kevril. Okay. All right. The door opens in. Actually, no. The door. Sorry. The not the small door, but then you hear a clink come from the inside, and you hear sliding, something sliding across probably wood, and then the door slowly opens, and you hear a fairly loud creak, and inside, you peer inside, you can see this. The Oster Hall is finished in irregular blocks of dark basalt that form natural columns along the walls. The doors of the monastery's front entrance face south, while interior doors lead east and west. An interior courtyard lies just to the north of the room, visible through a pair of narrow windows. And in the windows, you can see through that. It's a pretty large, courtyard a little bit, and you probably from this angle, you don't really see anything. You just see doors going back beyond that courtyard. And in here, you see two people in the monk robes and the mask. I want to say there's an image for this, but I don't want to look for it forever. So let me do a quick look. Under artwork, there it is. Oh. Oh, that's not... What? That wouldn't be it, right? No. No. That's weird. They don't have it all on there. Whatever. There is a picture I have somewhere. I should have got it ready, but I didn't. Oh well. Fuck it. So, you guys can place your characters inside. I will place mine. So they're in the combat tracker. It's just so it makes it easier for me to keep track of. So, one is at the front, and one is at the side. Actually, they're at the side as they look at you, guys, and they don't really say anything.
I'll bow to each of them with the customary gesture we saw as we walked in. So,
all right.
I'm in an eye follow suit.
They bow back.
Okay.
They don't say anything.
It's just
You
the two
can
of
see, with your guys' perception, you can see over by the one that talked in the door, right by her, on the floor, she's got what looks like a worm there, and you can see a trail of ants coming in, eating the worm by her feet.
Interesting.
Does that ring a bell for you?
She notices that you notice, and she looks down, and you think you hear a faint laughter from her, like a that kind of thing.
Does that ring any bells for you?
Not that I can answer to you right now in the middle of this this charade we have going on.
So I will say, where are the other ones being kept?
I'll look at Criella and just say, we needn't bother the brothers here. We'll take them. And I'll just confidently walk over to the door on the left side and open it.
Okay. Let me. You hear a slight gong go off as you enter, and you can hear some chanting coming from the halls. And you go to the left, right?
Yes.
Okay. You can move your characters over there. You go open the door.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to act very confidently, like I know exactly where I'm going. Just so you know. So.
What's that?
I'm going to act very confidently, like I know exactly where I'm going. Of
course. That's all part of your deception roll that you rolled. And that goes against their, obviously, passive perception and whatever. Mm-hmm. So as you open the door, it opens to a hallway. And you can see it veer off to the right. The stone is much like the stone inside here. It's all the same stone. You see another window going to a looks like a kind of like a courtyard area that has some light shining through the tops of it, which you can see was like some kind of gated roof kind of thing, which you've probably seen that with your bird. So, and you can see there's like sunlight coming in from there.
So what I'd like to do is kind of steer my way towards where the west side timeout room would have been, and that's kind of where I'd like to lead us to, my recollection, wherever that would be.
This is different.
Okay.
Just the very front was the same.
Okay.
But this hallway is slightly different.
Okay.
The window to your right is mm-hmm. different. The doors to your left is the same. Those used to be sleeping quarters.
All right, then I'll continue past that.
Okay.
Go down the hallway then. Is that door in front of me new, or is that similar to what I remember?
Oh, that is new. Oh, and then the hallway. That door to the north, you're pretty sure leads to a kitchen. Or the eating area.
Okay. And the other two doors that are there, are those new, or are those...
yes, that part is new.
That probably would be where I would head, honestly.
Go ahead.
Is there? We haven't passed anybody in these hallways, right? These are vacant.
There's no one in the hallways. You just hear
Right,
slight chanting, a little bit of noises here and there.
So as we make it up to these doorways, I will very, very, very quietly whisper to whoever's directly behind me, and kind of hopefully they play telephone down the line and say, part of this is familiar, part of it is new. I'm trying to make it to one of the rooms that we would have used for prisoner storage.
You're better at this than we are.
Okay, do you do that quietly, or
Yeah.
can you roll a stealth check for that?
Sure.
You guys, you can move your characters up where you want to be.
Just trying. I should be in the middle.
Okay.
Now, are there spaces where Vhajjharma's back can follow us in through here?
I think you could come in through the windows if need be.
Okay.
So the best assumption is that the familiars are following along above, like on the rooftop.
All right. I'll let you handle that.
Yeah. The windows are they don't have glass in them. None of the windows have glass in them. Even though it kind of shows they do, but they don't. So.
Okay. I'd like to, very as inconspicuously as I can, kind of listen at that door as closely as I can and find out if I can determine anything going on behind it.
Roll a perception.
Just taking a very short time, so.
Yep.
Vhajjharma
No
will
problem.
always
It's just a
be
perception
looking-
check.
Vhajjharma will always be looking back over her shoulder to make sure that nobody is coming up behind us.
Okay. You don't hear anything beyond that door. When you did cross the windows, so you can look in. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of view.
Okay.
About your window's view, as you could kind of peer back. So you probably peer back to there, and you could see the door up ahead through those windows too. So that's probably about as far as you can see. You can see their statues. These are statues of dwarfs. I think. Let me check.
Probably from one that.
Oh no, these are winged type creature-looking statues that are at a sitting formation, and they have different. Their hands are out. One hand's out like this. There's one hand out like that. And then the two in the middle are like this. So one on the closest to you is like this, and the two in the middle are like that.
Okay. Okay. I will open that door.
Okay.
Confidently walk in.
Okay. You walk in. Go ahead. You get a clear view. You can see this long, narrow court is paved in red sandstone. It's a little bit different than the rest. The north stands what seems to be double doors, which you can assume probably go to maybe a temple or the main part of the monastery from your experience. It's coppered sheath doors emblazed with a triangular symbol. It's very similar to the ones you've seen, the ones that you've seen around. doors also exit to the east and west ends, and then several narrow windows pierce the south wall. And you can see the statues kind of are facing the outside the court with facing leers to them.
Can I make a roll to see if they're dwarven made?
Okay. Criella, you're outside, I'm assuming?
Oh, no. Sorry, I was writing notes.
Okay, no problem.
Which symbol was it that was on the door?
It is the triangle symbol.
Gotcha.
We'll call it the common triangle symbol.
Like the KOA campsite one?
Yeah.
That's right, the campsite one, right.
It's the one that was on the bugbears that were found dead up south. Belleyard.
There you go.
Okay, so you go. What do you guys do?
To the door. So I'm assuming that the doors that are to the north of where I am right now lead into a main temple area.
Okay. Yeah, that's what you're guessing. It must be it's just from your experience. Okay, as you walk through, you can see light piercing this courtyard through like a kind of gated top that kind of lets in the light in squares, but they make a diamond type pattern. As you walk through, the light kind of glares in a bit, but it's mostly at this time of day. It's mostly on the gargoyle statues.
Okay.
Is there any writing that anybody can see on the statues?
Are you gonna take a closer look from here? Or you don't notice any.
I'll try to. If anything's in Dwarvish.
Okay. Okay. Please make a perception check. And how long do you want to spend on this? Since time is an issue.
Yeah, just a couple minutes. I mean, I know we're trying
Minutes? Seconds?
1 turn.
1 turn is 6 seconds. You mean 1 round? Turn in the old days were 10 minutes. There is no more turns. There's only rounds. So 6 seconds.
Yeah, I just want to see if I recognize any Dwarvish language.
No, but you're pretty sure the stone of these outer walls are dwarven.
Okay.
You can just tell by the chisel marks.
I want to take the supposed prisoner into the main temple.
Sure.
I'm going to keep going down this direction.
I think that's for the best.
Okay.
Yeah. Doors here.
Okay, as you get closer there, you hear a little bit different sound. You hear the distinctive sound of hitting of pads kind of coming from this direction, coming through that window there.
It's like another sparring area.
Indeed. Through the window area, though. Okay.
Well, the window's an open window, so it kind of just goes right through there.
So as we pass by, can I kind of glance in and just see if I can see anything? Does it look like a hall? Does it look like a room?
Oh yeah, you take a look in and you just see this.
Yeah.
More doors.
Yeah. I was kind of wondering. All right.
Yeah, I should have revealed it. I didn't think about it.
I will open these doors then in front of us. Assuming that we're going to get a mirror image here, but maybe not.
When you open the door, the training is definitely louder coming from here.
Does it appear to be coming from north of us or back south?
Can you roll perception?
Sure.
From what you can tell, you think north.
Okay.
That's about it.
All right. I will step out into the hallway then and look north and see what it.
Okay. You look north. Oops. It is definitely louder coming from this direction.
I do like the.
The kung fu noises.
Oh yeah!
It's like Enter the Dragon.
Yep.
Can he does he have any idea how many extra voices it could be?
If you want to know, you can roll a perception check. He's not going to tell you, so.
It's probably coming from the courtyard.
Yeah. If you, Marc, when you want to know things, yeah. When you want to know things, you can roll yourself.
I'll roll myself.
You don't know shit.
Okay.
I know
you
that
can hear
kung
it.
fu is happening.
You do know that, for sure.
All right, I'll walk up to this next corner and look around the end.
All right.
Again, trying to walk slowly but confidently, so I'm not.
No problem. There's nobody here right now, so you don't really see anything.
Okay.
As you walk up, the training is obviously a bit louder. You know it's coming from the door to the south there. And there's a little bit different sound coming from the north. You sound like, you swear you hear pouring water, Kevril, and only you.
Okay. From the north, from the very most north door that looks
no,
like
I'll show you the door.
Okay.
I'll give you a pointer.
From that door.
Yep. And you see stairs going down ahead. Oh no, stairs going down to a door, which you can smell fresh air coming from.
Okay.
And from what you can figure out what's there.
Yep. Yep. Okay. As they kind of everybody bunches up behind me, I'll kind of very quietly behind me say and point at that door and say, "Water." Did that one or point across the hall?
Okay, and all of a sudden you hear the. I don't know where I put all those sounds for a minute. One hit punch. There it is. I'm just gonna have to do the non-training. So. Do that. Oh no, not that one.
What? Wow.
Yeah. There you go. All of a sudden it gets quiet. I'll just use that. That's perfect. All right.
Okay.
From the training room.
Simply use hand motions to say maybe not water. Prisoners, not water.
And then.
Gotcha.
And then you can hear a voice coming from inside in the training room.
Just a voice, not clearly enough to be able to make out what they're saying.
I'm going to call that training room, because obviously that's probably what's going on there, so.
Right. Okay. All right, I'm going to go up to the door, across the hall from that almost, and quickly listen there, and then...
Yeah, sure, just put your character what door you're talking about.
That one.
Please roll a perception check. Quickly, we'll just count as like about 6 seconds. That's how I'll keep track of time.
Yep.
Okay, you're positive you don't hear anything.
positive I don't hear anything. Okay, well
yes.
then.
You're pretty positive you don't hear anything, but...
While he's doing that, I will listen to the water door just to check if I hear anything else coming from behind it.
Oh, really? Hold on, let me take you something back here.
Yeah. Most likely.
Okay.
It...
Okay. And that was from the door with the water, or
no,
that was.
that's the training room.
So the door that I'm at is where we're talking about right now.
Yes, but that's what you when you go to listen, you're all quiet and you stop to go listen, and then you go try to listen behind the door, but you don't hear anything behind the door. But then it becomes very clear to you the sounds that you are hearing.
Okay. Okay.
And then you start hearing the training start again.
Oh. Okay. We're not going to go in that door.
Okay.
I'm going to go down this way and kind of continue to head down this hallway then.
Okay. Are you going to go to the very end, or you can just see
just
the
to the
hallway? Okay.
Do I hear anything at this door here when I listen at it?
What? Oh, what'd you roll? You rolled. Thank you. You hear clanging of metal. You swear you hear like a fire. And you hear sloshing of water.
Shh. Elemental. They're practicing elemental magic.
Or a forge, maybe.
Well, I guess that could be it too.
I'm gonna assume you just kind of whisper it to each other. I mean, there's no one right here in the vicinity, so.
Here's a whisper. So, we haven't run into anybody yet.
By the way, Vhajjharma can keep messaging people, but she does look like she's casting a spell. But without anyone seeing her, then...
Okay. As long as there's nobody around.
So you guys can keep talking through message.
So, we've gone through a few different...
Let's not have a big discussion, though. You know what I'm saying? Because you guys are in the middle. You're not going to have a big, long...
I know, but this
so
is
keep it short sentences.
I understand. This is like real time, though, but...
Yes.
We haven't run into anybody. We're coming to another exit that we know we can get out. Do we want to continue or call it an evening and pick it up next weekend, or what?
Things are going to get messy if we go much further, I'm pretty sure.
I think you should keep going.
I mean,
that's what I think. Not because things are going to get messy. I think you guys should just keep going. And when it gets messy, that's when I think you should stop.
I gotcha.
If it's going to get really hairy, yeah.
I think we're here for a reason, and so we shouldn't bail unless we have...
No, he means bail for the night. Not as in the characters. I didn't realize he was playing on a character. I would just kind of keep going, and then you can decide what you want to do. And if it gets to the point where it's gonna get hairy, I will totally stop that shit. Basically,
so
before any combat.
That's cool. So just to confirm, the door that Criella is standing in front of right now is the door that you just heard the fire and water and all that stuff. Yep. The door that's to the north of her on the opposite side of the...
With the arrow... Oh, to the north of her, there's no, you don't hear anything. The training room there. Is where the 15 is pointed at.
Right. And the stuff that I heard was at which door again? Sorry.
The stuff that you heard is when you're at that door, but it's kind of coming from... it's coming probably from the training room. It's just that you got quiet and you listened. Basically, you rolled really fucking high. So...
Nice. Yeah. I didn't hear anything from the room, but I heard ambient kind of word. Yeah, I got
you. Yeah, you quiet down and you're able to pick up stuff maybe more than what you normally would.
Okay. Well, if Vhajjharma messages me, I'll just kind of message to the group. Temples to our left. Otherwise, training room south. Other than that, I'm at a loss. So, where?
Can go back the other way. We just run the risk of somebody seeing us and wondering why we're wandering around aimlessly.
Indeed.
So, do we want to go to the door to the south that we know is an exit out? Or do we want to continue to go around inside?
We go north to the...
All of a sudden, the door opens to the training room. You can hear it louder. People are training. Someone comes out. His mask is off, and he kind of looks. He's looking down, and you can see him. He coughs up some blood. He quickly shuts the door, and he sees you, and he looks up, and he's like, "No, the master does not want you going down that way." And he's looking straight at Kevril. And he coughs up blood, and he wipes it from his cheek, and then he just kind of walks off with a limp.
Okay, so does he turn the corner, or does he head back out?
He goes back the opposite way.
Does he head out towards the main entrance, or does he head out to the courtyard area?
He goes down the hall, as far as you know, unless you want to go take a look. Well, I guess they...
No, I just meant, did he turn and go towards the courtyard to the north, or did he head down the hall to the south?
Wait a minute, let me change it. Oh, he's heading that way.
Okay, cool. All right.
Was the courtyard to the north
where I saw blood splatter there on the ground? What's that?
Well, the courtyard to the north was where I saw all the statues. Was that also where I saw people training?
Yes.
Okay. I'd say we got to go in one of these doors, or we got to go all the way back to the other side of the compound.
Yep. All right. I'll just walk past then and go up to the door that I didn't hear anything at, and I'm sure that I didn't hear anything at, and I'll open it.
You go to open it, and it is locked.
Not for long.
Not for long.
Who's opening it?
Criella, I'm sure.
You can help.
Oh, good. Then I'll help for sure.
And Vhajjharma will be our lookout.
Yeah.
I mean, because you're proficient in tools, right? So you can totally help.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty good at it.
Yeah.
Not quite as good as I think.
I got some skills.
You go open it, click, the lock opens. Do you wish to open the door?
Probably a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
You'll die!
Nope. Kaboom!
No saves.
Fireball!
You open the door, and here, this large room contains a wooden table with 4 chairs, a small working desk, several macrame wall hangings, a single pallet on a low stone shelf set against the west wall. To the north, a barred window looks out over the walled garden.
barred window. Interesting.
Yes.
I'll take a walk up to the desk and see what I see.
Do you guys remain outside?
Yep.
Do you leave the door open?
Yes.
Okay.
If I see anybody, if I see a door pop or anything happen like that, I'll definitely close that door, just so you know. So I'll be prepared for them.
I'm going to go inside the door. Because I'm supposed to be...
Not there.
Yeah.
I'm putting a chair set down.
On the door? Oh, you're just going to sit in a chair. Okay.
Yep.
I'll just take up positions like I'm waiting patiently kind of around the doorway kind of thing. So.
Okay. There is a small wooden chest on the desk.
Tell me more. That's my weak spot, man.
What are you gonna do? It's a indiscreet small chest. It looks like it has iron metal black hinges that are somewhat rusted, but it looks sturdy enough. It is maybe only like a 1.5 feet wide and maybe like a 1/2 foot, I don't know, deep or whatever. So
I'm going to utilize the mage hand to open it for me.
okay, are you gonna step back or are you gonna do it from here?
No, I'm going to step back probably about 3 feet.
Oh, 3 feet? Okay. Alright, please roll.
What am I rolling?
Open
Is
lock.
Oh,
No, it's
Yeah.
locked.
Whatever you want to roll, really. Alright, you click it open. It's easy enough.
Okay.
The latch clicks open.
And what do I see inside?
You open it with Mage Hand, and inside, you see, looks like something wrapped in some kind of leather.
I will use the mage hand to lift it out.
Okay, as you lift it out, you get a little bit closer look. You can tell it's a nice soft cowhide, and in it contains some things. You hear the jiggle of money.
Oh. That's dangerous, so I'm afraid I'm going to have to put that away because we don't want that noise to be disturbing anybody. So I'll put it in a place where it's very well.
All right. It's relatively heavy, actually.
Well, let's unwrap it a little bit more and see what it is.
You unwrap it. There's 800 silver pieces, 65 plenium pieces, and 12 turquoise stones.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Quite the ball.
God, 800 silver. That's not a small bag.
It's tied. Well, it's in a bag. It's in a separate bag, and the plenium pieces in a bag, and the stones are loose. But your hand's like holding it up, and you unwrapped it yourself.
I'm going to take the stones and the palladium and leave the silver.
Oh, there you go.
There's also a key in here.
Oh, God.
That.
Tell me how many palladium that was again?
I'm
65.
Are you taking it yourself, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's the one there.
All right. Please mark down the. I'll just put it on your character sheet.
65 and 12.
I'm just putting it on your. I'm just making it easy. Just put down 800 silver pieces.
He didn't know. He didn't take the silver.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You put the 65 platinum pieces, and do you put the gems?
Yes, please.
Okay. And then the key, right?
Yep.
Yeah. What does the key look like?
The key is, it is a metal key. It has a swirl in it, so the metal kind of goes around in a swirl, and the key comes down, and it looks like it's for a fairly complex lock.
Well, I will keep that close.
Yes.
Criella and her keys.
Is there anything else? Any drawers? Anything on this desk that I see?
No, the desk is pretty plain. There is a plate that contains crumbs on the table, though.
Okay.
The bed seems pretty plain from here too.
Take fingerprints and DNA, and
I'm going to take a quick look also underneath the bed roll and see if there's anything underneath.
Okay. You walk over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to duck under the window as I pass by so nobody sees me.
You don't, you see there is a small box underneath the bed. Oh, actually, I don't know, a little bit, wider than your body box.
Mm-hmm.
What's that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Is it locked?
No, it's an open box.
What is in it?
You drag it out, and in it you see clothing, you see bandages. A lot of the bandages have stains on it. It looks like trousers, but very simple cloth. Looks like loose-fitting stuff from what you can tell.
Okay. Is it like monk's robes at all?
You can roll is that insight or?
I'm basing it
that'd be investigation.
I'm basing it like on what Kevril is wearing right now. Is it similar to what he's wearing?
You can roll investigation.
It's definitely not what I'm wearing right now, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't look like a monk, really.
No.
So.
Well, no, because you're wearing the one that we got from the night.
You can
Yes.
roll.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
It's not exactly like that. It's like trousers and stuff, right? Clothes.
Okay. I'm gonna leave it alone then. It's not gonna aid in this.
You slide it back in.
Yep.
is there anything at the table?
No, there's just a plate of crumbs.
Oh.
Perhaps
I'm gonna-
breadcrumbs?
I'm gonna relock the chest.
Okay, please roll. Yeah, you think you got it.
Nice. Also, quick peek. Do I see anybody still in the courtyard, out the window?
No, there's no one out in the courtyard.
Okay. I'll head back and talk to Kevril and Vhajjharma and tell them there's nobody out there.
Right.
Okay.
Does any of this walking through and the different rooms trigger any thoughts for Kevril on give him any insight in how it's designed, the interior now?
Yeah, that's Kevril's question to ask.
There are parts that are similar, and then there are parts that are different.
This is definitely that on the ladder.
Yeah. So we, unfortunately, I think my insight's kind of at the end of its rope here. So.
Well, at the risk of getting out in the open, we could either head north into that courtyard and then another way from there, or we can look in this room with all of the elemental sounds.
Yeah, there is a door right there around the corner here too, right? That heads west. Or no?
Yeah, there's the one just below us that's to the west.
Yeah, the door there too, right? Right there.
Can I have my raven follow around since nobody's in the courtyard? Can I instruct the raven to fly down into the courtyard and look into any windows or that it sees?
Yeah, sure, it's within range, no problem. You look, yeah, you can talk telepathically with it. We'll just say it just stays within always 100 feet.
Why don't we have the bat do that for Vhajjharma too?
So you're gonna have it look where?
Into any windows that are in this courtyard.
Okay.
Like there's the window in the door the room that I was just in.
I'm just gonna describe it, so I'm not gonna open it up. But in the window to your left, or I mean to your right in the courtyard. That's the only. Is that the only one you can see?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's the only one. So in that one there, you see inside, and inside, you can see piles of firewood stacked neatly up against one wall of this room. There's 4 large copper kettles stand in iron frames above the iron fireboxes. Copper tubing and long coils lead from one kettle to the next. Several large wooden casks stand at the southern end of the room, and shelves on the eastern wall hold scores of brown bottles sealed with red wax. And you can see 2... how many are in here? Yes, 2 monks. They don't have their mask on. One is female, the other one is male. There are one's washing, and the other one's tending to a fire underneath one of the...
So it's bathhouse or distillery.
Yeah. So I tell everybody that. So I don't know that we need to go into that room, because now we know what's in it.
No.
Indeed.
So do we want to try the door at the end of the hall, or do we want to go through the courtyard up top? I wouldn't mind maybe going up to the courtyard and getting into some of the rooms more central. I don't know that we're going to find any prisoners over here. It seems much more like a utilitarian section.
Right, so maybe up through the courtyard and then take the set of stairs into the other part of the building there to the left.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to lock this door when I go out.
Okay. Please roll. All right. You believe it's locked. You go through the courtyard?
Yep.
And here you see... oh, I gotta put the map thing back on. You see a door. This is a stone door that is going in from the outside the courtyard. You're going in. You pass 2 statues, very, very lifelike. Very, very good artists on these.
Vhajjharma is going to send her bat around to the wall to the north to look into any windows or arrow slits from that direction.
Wall to the north. You mean where?
Where I just put
Okay,
the bat.
I see. All right. It looks in. It can see inside. It probably sees about right there. So you in there, you can see some kind of altar area, and there are stairs going down in the middle of it. You probably see the wall there, something like this.
Any people?
And you see by the altar there are, let's see. You can see people there talking. I don't know how many. You can see a man dressed in a stone type armor. Actually, there are 3 men dressed in stone type armors. One of them has a crown on their head. And they are talking. They're at the altar, and he's pointing down at the altar, and he's talking to them.
Vhajjharma would like to look at this this armor and cast her mind back and remember if it resembles the armor that the mage below Red March.
It does indeed. Similar. I mean, it's not exactly the same, but it is definitely stone.
I didn't like that.
Didn't like that. Right into this door, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perhaps we should backtrack. Go to the other side.
Yeah, and with those stairs, it's possible that the prisoners are being held, if there are prisoners still here in the basement, if they haven't killed them all or sent them elsewhere.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
we should just go to the other side, I think.
I think we should follow exactly the same route, and hopefully they don't see us, the 2, at the front door. But
So I mean, if you guys like, you can end it there or keep playing. I don't care. But you're not in any situation where it's going to take a 3-hour situation. I'll stop it before. That'll be a good end point, anyways. So.
Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter to me.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's keep going. Okay, walk through where you want to go.
Yep, we're going to just head this direction. Ultimately, just kind of follow our original path and head back through this hallway.
Okay. Did you hear what they seen, Malichor?
No.
All right. They seen a man in stone armor talking to 2 other people in stone armor. A guy that has more of a crown.
Uh-huh.
You definitely recognize that on an altar, and there's stairs going down.
Yeah.
But that's as far as you could see with the bat from where it was at.
Did they mention anything about the Black Earth?
I didn't really listen.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely looks like armor that the mage under Red Larch was wearing.
Okay.
Yeah.
You close the door behind you. The training stops for a bit, or it's just quieter here.
Okay, we'll just keep going.
Go ahead.
Yeah, move this direction. Ultimately, move down to this other set of doors down here that we came in.
Okay.
Cut through this way, and then I think we're going to go north.
Okay. You go to the door. You go to the door. It is open. I didn't describe what these doors look like in here. They're made of wood, most of the doors, and they have iron bands to open them. There you go.
Okay.
So, you go. It is open.
I open it.
As soon as you open the door, you can hear clanging of something metal coming from probably the north.
Any people in this room?
There are no people. There's a bunch of tables. It is completely cleared and clean. There is shelves for dishes. Those are at the sides. Where wooden bowls and some wooden dishes are placed, and it looks like utensils and various some other kitchen pots and stuff, but the kitchen is not here. There's obviously a dining room.
Yeah, the kitchen's one of those 2 doors. The clanging that I hear of metal, does it sound like, can I place which door it's coming from?
Roll a perception. The winner is the one on the left.
Okay, then I'm going to the right.
Criella will send her raven to look in this window over here then.
Good plan.
Okay. You look through that window. You can see there are 3 tubs full of water, one of which has a little bit of steam coming from it. There's also various towels that are folded over in the corner, but you can see a trail of water coming down from those towels.
Okay.
So they're wet.
Yeah. All right, lead on, Kevril.
Okay. I'm gonna move to this door.
I'm starting to crash a little bit, gentlemen, just to let you know.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Just see what's in this room and
You
Yep.
open the door.
Yep.
And that's what it looks like. It's just a hallway leading over to the right.
And
Another door. So they're both wooden doors.
and from our travels through this monastery, we've run into 3 alive people, right?
we know of more, but yeah.
We've seen 3.
You guys
We've
don't have
heard-
time for discussions unless you want to take that discussion.
I know. I'm
Yeah,
just
you can
keeping
reply
track.
back to Vhajjharma. Yes, you've seen 3. So
I've seen 3. Well, Criella saw 15 in the courtyard.
Right.
More.
Kevril, this is not that unusual. I mean, they train.
Right.
So,
Oh yeah, sure.
this is where they eat, and while they're not training, they're not eating.
They're probably in the temple.
I mean, yeah, exactly.
So this door probably walks right into that temple.
Yep.
Yep.
Can I also then send my raven to this window up here, please?
Okay, you take a look in. Man, aren't they useful? Oh man,
Yeah.
Find Familiar is like the best thing in the world. So in here, from here you can see a stove, and you can see. Actually, I guess you'd see the back wall even. I'm just gonna open it.
Yeah, I was just going to move the bat there.
Okay, great. You guys both deduct this is a. I'll just open these sections. That is definitely a kitchen. There are 4 what look like to be the brown-robed monks. 1 really fat one and 3 skinny ones are doing dishes and cleaning and putting stuff away.
Yep. To be expected, right?
Yep. You see hot coals soldering under the big brick heaths in the middle. Wheels of cheese clutter the walls. Well-worn work tables. Obviously, there's the washroom over to the left. Yep.
Well, the only other option, if we don't want to bust in on this big ritual, is in the doors that we didn't go through on the south and east sides here.
Which I think are probably likely sleeping quarters.
Right, the ones on the south.
South, right.
And while we know that at least one of the rooms over on the east side is the distillery, there's 2 other doors, one off the courtyard and one off of that hallway. If we're going to assume that both of the doors to the south lead into the sparring.
And you know that one guy that walked out, he said, "Don't go that way," or whatever. The master doesn't want you going that way.
You know, usually when somebody says don't go that way, it means we should probably go that way.
Right.
Says the thief.
That's what I'm saying. So, we want to go in one of those.
Yeah, we could also go into that training room and
show to everybody that we don't actually know how to style.
yeah, I suppose. Well, you clearly don't. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, we probably should, with the ploy, march this break in the middle of this whole thing going on, honestly. But
yeah.
I don't know that we're that dumb or...
Well, and Criella and I were, recently held captive by this the stone mage. So for us to show up coming in through the doors may not work either.
Yeah.
Well, she doesn't look like... She looks like a monk,
Yeah.
so...
Well,
and you look like a captive, so it might be actually a perfect ruse.
Yeah.
Could be. I don't know.
I say that we should go through that other door in the courtyard. Not the one into the ritual room, but the one other door that doesn't go outside.
Oh, yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Which one?
You can point at it so I know.
If you're looking at the... Let me draw an arrow.
A motherfucking arrow, I'm guessing...
Right.
Oh, there.
Oh. Yeah, you could.
I just have this feeling like doors that lead outside are less likely to be immediately like walking in on somebody. Just experience.
Yep. I'm okay with that. If you want to make our way over there, that's fine by me. I don't like the idea of going in this one.
Yeah, I don't either.
What one?
This one that we just, in this short hallway, we just opened up the door to.
Oh, yeah. So you guys go back over there?
Yeah.
Track it on over again.
And you can move your characters, but you go to open that door.
Which one?
I'm the one in the courtyard, right? The one you pointed at?
Oh, all the way over there. Okay, so we make it all the way over there? Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Here?
Yep.
Okay.
You definitely make it all the way over there.
Okay.
I mean, it only takes you like less than 30 seconds, basically.
I saw your die come rolling out. That's why I was asking.
Oh, those could be for random encounters.
Sure they could.
You go to open the door and it is locked.
Is there a keyhole?
So definitely, we'll probably be ending it real soon, but go to the keyhole. Not because of that, just because Marc's getting tired, and it might be a good spot. Not because it's going to be combat, by the way.
And I know Vhajjharma really wanted to play tonight, but she fell asleep.
Okay, so what do you want to do with the keyhole?
I was going to attempt to use lockpick to open it.
Okay, sure.
Or the key you found.
I have a feeling this is an ostentatious key meant for a pretty big lock.
Yeah, I'm betting this is not this key.
You don't think it's a skeleton key?
Maybe, but
Okay.
I'm just going to use my mage hand to open.
Well, understood.
It's more fun that way.
Alright. Use the lock and it opens. It clicks open, but it's hardly a noise. It looks like this lock is very well kept. Sorry, that's so loud.
Say that again, what'd you say?
I guess I'll just walk in like I own the place.
Yep.
Alright.
Alright. You walk in. Did everyone follow behind?
Yep.
Depends if I die or not.
We're all being confident, so.
Inside, you see
That was true.
So inside, when you guys walk in, you can place all your characters in. I'll just say you guys just walk in. You look inside. This place looks not very well kept. Over at the right-hand side, actually, the first thing that happens when you walk in, you smell a little bit. It's like kind of a rot smell, like something rotting, like flesh rotting or something like that. Some kind of meat rotting. And inside, you see a desk. And at the desk sits someone that's busy writing. They're hunched over. You can see they are in black robes with golden crest on it. They're hunched over, and they say, "I asked you not to disturb me."
Apologies.
And he puts down his pen.
We'll just say apologies. We brought one more. We'll just take them down and be on our way.
Then he gets up. And then he gets up and he turns around and faces you. You recognize his face right away.
I do?
Yes,
Who does?
All those that seen the paintings downstairs recognize his face. You recognize him as a much skinnier face, a face that is more bone than what was much in the paintings, but you recognize him as Redrick Cauldron. And we'll just leave it at that.
He was the one that was given the magic potion and is supposed to have died, right?
Redrick was the one that... Yeah, he was supposed to have died. That's right, yeah.
So, I mean, you guys can keep playing if you want, or we'll just leave it there. It's a good point to leave off, I think.
We can leave it there.
So, because you guys will probably play forever.
Yeah.
And physically, I can't do it. This last weekend kicked me in the nuts.
Yeah, if you guys are just gonna play, so what day do you guys want to play next weekend?
I'm free any day. Yeah.
Next weekend is what?
This is the weirdest thing. You guys walked into that fucking room. All I gotta say, that is the weirdest fucking thing.
That was the only good room to walk into. That's what you're trying to tell us?
No, it's just weird that you guys went to Summon Hall and went straight here and walked into that room. That is the weirdest thing. So,
that's what you have when you have a thief guiding your way. That's all good.
When the other characters, when they walked into this fucking room, they were like, they didn't know anything about Renwick, so they didn't know. But yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. It's too bad we didn't get a chance for Vhajjharma to use some of her necromancer spells, but
she doesn't. I don't know. I mean, you gotta take out the money in the spell book.
I know. I was joking.
She probably wouldn't. Oh, okay. She wouldn't have those studied anyways, and
I know. So I
they're
think
better against living creatures.
we're good at any one of the days next weekend. I think pretty much. We don't have anything planned.
So what's the best day for everyone? So it makes it
Friday
easier to put out a day so we can plan on it.
Friday or Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's fine.
Saturday is always a better day because I can get on really early, make sure everything's set up, and I'm ready to play. Otherwise, I gotta run home from work. We don't got Friday off. Friday's not like a holiday, right?
No, some people have it off. I mean, there's no school, so I've got to take the day off with the boys.
It's not traditionally off.
No, not traditionally.
Okay,
but
yeah. So
a lot of people have it off this year for some reason.
What is
Saturday would be better for me, but I can do it either day.
No, Saturday's fine.
Yep, works for me.
All right, that's cool. And if you guys are on early, I can totally start early. But at this point, we probably should all be there to start. Unless someone's going to be super late or something like that. So
I shouldn't be. I should be fine for next weekend.
I should probably be able to play a little bit tomorrow night too. So
cool.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, dude, we're at a really cool point.
Yeah, it would be a good one for you to be at, actually.
Yeah.
I know. I'm like 300 yards away from the boat.
Yeah, exactly. You're observing the insanity that's ensued.
I have no idea what's going on. So.
Yeah, you're going to.
You stayed back at the boat or something, probably.
You tagged along, but you were in shock from the ghost encounter that you had. But you kind of been inside your own head for a little bit. But what's happening now is going to snap you out of it. Needless to say.
All right, guys.
I'm going to turn off the recording. Bye, guys. Thanks for watching.
We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah.